Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. I like to title this segment, Blood of the Sheep, Blood of the Goat. Once again, this segment is entitled, Blood of the Sheep, Blood of the Goat. All right, we have made it plain that the house of Israel, when we were redeemed in Egypt, it was the blood of the sheep or of the goat that was placed above the top of the home and on the two side posts to ensure that the Most High, when he sent his death angel through, that no one in that house would be harmed. So we've dealt with the sheep. And now for Passover, we were instructed that we could either take that animal, it could be one of the sheep, or it could be one of the goat, either one of those two animals. Now we're going to address the Day of Atonement. That way you understand what these feast days are and these holy days are. Because once you understand the feast days and the holy days, it takes Christianity, which is white supremacy, it takes that and throws it in the garbage can. Once you understand the Most High's feast days, the Most High's holy days, most importantly, the Most High's law. Once again, brace yourselves, tighten up your jaws, do not turn to the left or to the right, or you will get hit in the mouth. We're to walk the straight and narrow way of the Most High's commandments. We're not to deviate to the right hand or to the left hand. All right. Blood of the sheep or blood of the goats. Let's deal with that. Now, for this, I would like you to reference Leviticus chapter 16, where the Most High lays out plainly what takes place during the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement is to be kept once a year. And on the Day of Atonement, the Most High's priest, the sons of Aaron, we are to do this each and every year, where a goat is sacrificed on the behalf of the entire congregation. And one goat, all the sins of the house of Israel is placed upon the scapegoat, that he may be let alive back into the wilderness. But the one goat that's offered for the sin offering, he is sacrificed and his blood is sprinkled on the altar, etc. So we know clearly that it's the blood of the animal. That's why the Most High has made it plain to us that we were not to ever eat the blood of any animal. We're not to drink any manner of blood, and we're not to eat any manner of blood, and we're not to eat any manner of fat. Why is this? Because it's the fat that's burnt on the Most High's altar, and the blood is sprinkled thereon also. So the blood is the life of the animal. And so therefore, when we make atonement with sin offerings, it is the blood of these animals that actually atone for us. Now, once we decide to go before the Most High to present an offering of any kind, the go-between between the people, the congregation, the family of Israel, and the Most High, he has a specific go-between that he has chosen. That go-between is what's known as his ministers. That is the sons of Aaron, the man Aaron. Aaron is of the house of Levi. That's a specific family. But out of the Levitical house, a man by the name of Aaron was chosen to be the Most High's priest, him and his sons forever. No one else can be a priest. A man of Issachar can't do it. A man of Zebulun can't do it. A man of Asher can't do it. A man of Judah can't do it. This is a totally separate line of men. And so the sons of Aaron are the go-between between the children of Israel and the Most High. The sons of Aaron's sons are the ministers of the Most High. They are his direct servants. And if any man, or woman for that matter, would dare try to do something or come before the Most High in a manner that he's not supposed to, or try to put himself in the place of the Levitical priest, Most High most likely is going to plague him with leprosy, or he's going to flat out kill him. So the Levitical house, the sons of Aaron, not his daughters, his sons, are the only ones that can minister before the Most High and come before him. They are his direct ministers. They are to wear specific attire, and they have a totally different set of rules for them. for they are the Most High's ministers directly. So on the Day of Atonement, what transpires is that Aaron has two goats before him, and he pretty much plays a game of eeny, meeny, miny, mo to determine exactly which one is going to go free and which one is going to be sacrificed unto the Most High. Now, the one that's to be let go, because there's two goats, and once he plays this game of eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and the Most High's lot fall on a specific goat, that's the goat to be sacrificed. The other goat will be let go. But though the goat is being let go, the one that's going to be let go, all the sins of the house of Israel, of the entire congregation, will be placed upon the head of that scapegoat. So this is where the term, "you're not going to make me the scapegoat," that's where that came from. You're not going to blame all these things on me when I didn't do nothing. That's the scapegoat concept. And once again, you can read this in Leviticus chapter 16. It covers the Day of Atonement. So you understand clearly exactly what is going on in Leviticus chapter 16 pertaining to the scapegoat. So think of this. The Most High destroyed the earth with a flood, killed everything in it, except for Noah, who walked with the Most High. Now, when you read that Noah walked with the Most High, or Most High found Noah to be a man that's righteous in his sight, what you have just read is that Noah obeyed the laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts of the Most High. Two cannot walk together lest they be agreed. And the Most High is righteous. And that's why he commanded his sons and daughters, the children of Israel. He said clearly, you are to be righteous because he is righteous. So we are to be righteous. And the only reason why Noah and his family was spared, because Noah was a righteous man in the sight of the Most High. He obeyed his laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. So we understand how important it is for us to walk in the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. It preserves us as Noah was preserved in the days of old, in the days of the flood. So clearly, people are saying, well, JC was here from the beginning. Well, if that was the case, why didn't the Most High just offer up JC the first time around instead of killing everyone off on the earth and only allowing Noah and his family to survive? This puts big bullet holes in this JC story. It's a lie. From the first page on, this thing is falsehood. And if you are to read the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, precepts, he made it plain that the children of Israel, we will be a witness to his words. We can clearly see that those who have taught us this JC mess, this lie, this nonsense, this falsehood, and we go into the Most High's text, we go into these scrolls, and we read his laws, we can see where our enemies, our captors, those who have enslaved us, murdered us, and dragged us all across the earth, we can see clearly that everything that they say and do is in direct opposition to the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. Their entire treatment of us goes against the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts, and exactly how we're to deal with other people, or anyone for that matter of fact. So all of their ways are contrary to the laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts of the Most High. We can bear witness to this. But for us to see, we must clearly have the lamp before us, and that's this law. So once we go into this law, and we understand clearly what the Most High states, we can use that as a measuring stick against everyone, and we can use it against ourselves. That way we may correct our errors. So the Most High killed off the whole earth during the time of Noah, but JC supposed to have still existed, and JC wasn't offered up. Imagine that. Now, when you read about the Day of Atonement, you will read that Aaron had to make an atonement for himself and his house. He had to make an atonement for the sanctuary, the holy place, and he had to make an atonement for the entire children of Israel. And this is one of the Most High's commandments, to where we understand clearly that once we are established and that priesthood is reinstated and that third temple is built, that we will be returning back to the way things were done at the first, because the Most High changes not. So therefore, we will be taking our sacrifices up to the priest like we did in the days of old. We can't do it on our own because the priest, the sons of Aaron, are the go-between between us and the Most High. So clearly we see where this thing, we're commanded to do it every year. If you read the very last verse of Leviticus chapter 16, it reads, "And this shall be an everlasting statute unto you, to make an atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year. And he did as Yah commanded Moses." So this is the Day of Atonement, that this statute is to be kept once a year forever, not sometimes. So therefore we know that our sins, whatever sins that we have committed, have been committing, even when we're in the land once a year, there will be a Day of Atonement, to where the high priest will atone for his house. He will atone for the holy place, and he will also make an atonement for the children of Israel and for their sins. So once we go into this law and we look at it, we can clearly see that no one has ever died for our sins. Our sins have been redeemed when animals are sacrificed. We cannot do that in the lands of our captivity right now. The Most High is not accepting any sacrifices from the children of Israel, because we were half-stepping with his sacrifices. We were bringing the lame and the sick. We were not bringing our very best. We were actually trying to cheat the Most High. And this is one of the reasons why we're in such a mess. So the Day of Atonement makes it plain that the entire congregation of Israel, the sons and daughters of the Most High, the Levite, the sons of Aaron, will actually have to atone for us once a year, every year, provided we're established as a nation back into the land that the Most High had promised unto our forefathers. So when we go into the text and we read of the holy days and we read of the feast days, it takes Christianity, which once again is nothing but the worship of Europeans, is nothing but white supremacy, to place them ahead of us. And we were clearly instructed, the children of Israel, that at no time were we ever to put strangers to lead us. So the words of a stranger should be void unto us. It's not something that we should want to hear as it pertains to this book. For we have been the people ordained and instructed to teach this book, and we were the ones that the law, statutes, judgments, and precepts were given to. We are the ones that have been ordained to teach this law to them. They cannot teach it to us. For if we look at them carefully and bear witness to what they do, what they have done, and what they are currently doing, it is all in opposition to the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. So once again, the Day of Atonement makes it plain that no one has ever, and I do mean ever, died for us, except that goat. And the blood of that goat, Aaron atoned for the children of Israel, for the entire congregation, and he does it once a year. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. The information that we seek is in this book. But some people do not have the discipline to read. Some do not have good reading comprehension. So what I will do with these short lessons, I will teach you in such a fashion that will be done in a storybook format, that you may hear it and understand it. And then you can go into the book and validate it. And hopefully it interests you to where you will be encouraged enough to do such a thing. But in the meanwhile, I will keep the lessons short, and I will bring it to you in an English format, everyday English, that you may understand what has transpired and what is transpiring, that you may know exactly what it is that you must do and what you should do once you can actually bear witness to what has happened and what is currently happening. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. No, JC's never died for you. No, no one has ever died for you. No, JC is not the Son of God. The Son of God is the entire congregation of Israel, who is an entire family. No, JC did not rise up for you on the third day. The third day resurrection is nothing but the children of Israel being awakened from the congregation of the dead. They have taken all that pertains to you and try to insert themselves in it. These are lies, and the Most High will pour his spirit upon us. And when we have that light before us, when we have that law before us, then we're able to see all of the lies, the traps and snares that's been set at our feet, and we will stay clear of them. For the Most High did say that we will walk in a way that we have not known. That's righteousness. And we will not stumble. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. And peace to the stranger that will take a hold of the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts, and do them. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless.